Starting? The Hangout is on live. Do we wait for it to come up there? It's working. Do we wait for it to come We're here. Turn that sound off, don't we? Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's masterclass. Turn that sound off, don't we? Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's masterclass. Turn that sound off, don't we? Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's masterclass. We've just got to work out a technical difficulty. Bear with us, please. We've just got to work out a technical difficulty. Bear with us, please. Get rid of it. Is that what's creating the feedback? This is the problem with technology, folks. I love face-to-face classes. The problem with technology, folks. I love face-to-face classes. Technology scares me a little. Thank God Amy's here. So we need to turn our sound off, maybe. That feedback is the problem.
Can anyone? For those of you that are there, can chat in the chat box. We just want to make sure that you can actually hear us. We're having a bit of a problem with some feedback. So if you can hear anything weird going on, can you please let us know and we will try to get that fixed. All good. Thanks, Vivian. That's great.
Thank you, Vivian. Okay. Are we ready to go then?
Is everyone ready to go? We've got a few people here all ready to go. Oh, great. Okay. Thanks, Tanzan.
So maybe if I just turn that sound down on ours, because we don't need to do it twice.
Yeah, I've just done that.
She's done that. Okay, so hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name's Jodie. I'm one of the co-founders here at The 7 Effect, and I'm here with Amy.
Hello, everyone.
The other co-founder of The 7 Effect. And we're thrilled to share with you tonight the exact blueprint that we use to build our six-figure business as a coach and a consultant. And we're actually going to take you through the steps of exactly how we did that. We've got lots of people from our community that we know and love, and we've also got some people on here that we haven't worked with before, and so there's lots of new names as well, so I'm really excited to be able to share this with you. Amy is the technical driver throughout the masterclass, so she's going to be reading the questions that you might have. This is live. We are real people and we are here, and we want to make this interactive and engaging as possible for you. So Amy's going to be my ears and eyes in terms of the questions. I'm going to, in the moment, change over to show you through some slides. Is there anything else we need to share?
I was just going to say to everyone now, being Australia and our internet actually unfortunately isn't the best, there is a bit of a delay. So please bear with it as you're going through and watching and listening, just because there's a little bit of a buffer. So Jodie might click on a dot or a slide, and it'll just take a couple of seconds to get through to you. So just be aware of that. But please, in the chat box, write any questions. I'll give Jodie a nudge and let her know what your questions are. And there might be a little bit of a delay with when she's answering them, just because of that purely. So
we will do our best for you.
We are doing our best.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll drag the slides over now, and I just want to get that started.
So I'll let Jodie have a chat with you as I'm sharing the slides.
So while we start, probably the best place to begin is to talk a little bit about who we are and what we do. So at The 7 Effect, basically we help people sort their lives out, and our background is very much in the leadership space. And what I came to realise from doing a lot of work with coaching leaders and managers was that it was very common to find people that were incredibly busy, and we were in that category as well, highly stressed out and selling their soul to the day job. So what we decided to do was create a bit of a goals club and help people focus on their personal goals, the life stuff. And when you get that right, What we now do is help people, once they've got their personal lives correct or where they want them to be, develop their skills as a leader, and then take those leadership skills and transform them into a lifestyle business. So you can have the ultimate freedom and do what you want, when you want, with who you want. So tonight, here are our slides. I'm going to be talking to you about how to build a profitable six-figure business as a coach, consultant, or expert. And I'm going to be talking you through exactly what Amy and I did to be able to do that. So I'm just going to double check in because Tamsin has said, sorry guys, it's cutting out, but John has said that he can't hear us. Shirley said it sounds better. Is the sound okay now, folks? Is the sound okay? Low level feedback, but better. Fine. Okay, so we've got mixed results there. I'm going to push on, and I guess the challenge with technology like this is we never get it. Oh, sounds good. Thanks, Katrina. That's great. Oh, I just want to say, sorry, folks, I just want to do a quick shout out to Katrina. Thank you so much for all the beautiful messages you sent to me through that difficult time with my dad's, Katrina. I'm really, really grateful for that. For those of you that don't follow the Seven Effect, just recently I had my stepfather pass away and then my father just 3 days after. And it was a really, really challenging time. And I have to say, you know, for all the love and support that you sent me, but also when things like this happen, I was so grateful to be in a lifestyle business and for Amy and I to be able to really, you know, put the tools down and say I need to take a couple of months off. So there's lots of benefits for living a life like we do. As I said before, essentially we help people get a life, become a leader, and find freedom through a lifestyle business. Probably a better way to show that to you is with this diagram here with these 3 circles. And we take people through a process where we audit their life, we audit their leadership skills, and then we audit their lifestyle business or help them build a lifestyle business by building around the 7 elements of each of those levels. You know, on the weekend, I spent 3 days at an amazing yoga retreat, and I was with a guru there, a genuine, authentic guru yogi, Dr. Ananda was his name. And he said, and I really loved this, our responsibility in life is to live our purpose, or as yogis would say, to live our dharma. And he said, really, it's very, very simple. There are just 3 things we need to do to live our purpose or fulfill our dharma. Number 1, know what needs to be done. So when you think about your business, think about, you know, what is the opportunity? Where's the gap? What needs to be done? Number 2 is develop the capability to do it. So create the skills in yourself. And then it's as simple as just do it, as Dr. Ananda said. So let's talk about that tonight, shall we? Okay. I wanted to share with you a little bit of background about me, and I'm not going to waffle on for ages about who I am and my history and tell you my whole life story, but I do want you to get a glimpse of this picture of me. This is in my early 20s, and this is what I looked like when I started my first business. So my very first, well, it was probably my 3rd business, truth be told, but my 3rd real business, this was a real, I have an ABN now and I'm running a business. I was a pottery artist. And I made drums and percussion instruments, and I sold them all over Australia and even internationally. When I started my first business, I had dreadlocks and, you know, looked like a real hippie chick. I had no real business experience. So if you're in a position now, and we had a lot of people fill in the survey that say, you know, years stage, so getting started. I had no real business experience. I had a really poor skill level, so it wasn't like I was even a master potter. I was a terrible potter, and that's why I made drums rather than domestic ware. I had no startup capital, so I didn't have, you know, 20 grand to throw at this thing. And to be honest, I had no freaking idea what I was doing. But there's one thing I did have, and this is the most important thing that you need to have. I had a huge level of courage and an unwavering self-belief. And I think this is the issue or the thing that holds so many people back. And I want to talk a lot about why that does tonight so that you can overcome it. My courage and unwavering self-belief came from these folks. So this is my beautiful Nana and Papa. That's me when I was about 2 years old. And my Nana and Papa were true entrepreneurs through and through. They retired at the age of 40. They had different properties, invested in shares. Papa was always starting and creating and selling new businesses. They travelled the world, and they always, always had time for family and friends. They were social creatures, fun, supportive, and just really amazing role models for me. And so I always said to myself growing up, I want to live the life exactly like they have. And I remember Papa's words to me. He would always say, you know what, Jodie, don't go to school, get good grades and get a job working for someone else. Work out what your goals are, what you want to do, and follow that. Make yourself rich by working for yourself, or make yourself wealthy, rather than making someone else wealthy working for them. And so I'm really fortunate to have grown up with a deep-seated belief that this is absolutely possible. So I did all of that. I went and created my first business as a dreadlocked hippie, and I persisted. As I said at the start, I had no freaking idea. But over time, when I continued to develop and invest in that business and sharpen my skills and become a true master at what I was doing, this is where the business ended up. In multiple business and marketing awards on a state and national and even on an international scale. We actually had global distribution. So you can see in the top left-hand corner, there's that article, Drum Maker Ready to Beat the World. We were selling drums to Russia, to Japan, to the United States. I used to get emails from people in Europe that had received a mud drum as a present, and they were just, you know, emails of gratitude. So we were selling them all over the world. As you can see, I was constantly in the media. This is just a small handful of some of the newspaper clippings, but we were on shows like Adelaide Weekender, Postcards, Feeling Good, and a whole range of other lifestyle programs. I did lots of different trade shows and events, and I was the most popular stand at many of those for customers, not usually for our neighbours because we were so noisy. And we had national TV exposure that we managed to get for free. And that was amazing. I don't know if any of you remember the shows Wheel of Fortune and The Price is Right. Well, my business Mud Drum used to be able to, we used to provide prize packages. So people would be, you know, what was his name that hosted The Price is Right?
Oh, I can't remember.
Larry Edmer.
Oh, yeah, Larry.
Good old Larry.
I think he was one of the latest ones.
Yeah, he
the
was.
The guy before that, wasn't it?
No, it was
with the moustache.
Yeah, Ian Turpie.
Yeah.
But it was Larry. It was Larry Edmer or whatever his name is. He'd be saying, "Come on down to the beat of the drum," and so people would come running down, and they could win a prize package from Mud Drum. And it was just amazing. And this is all what's possible when you really get focused on one thing and you know, push things to the limit. But I was working it out as I was going along. And obviously we're not here to talk about building a mud drum making business. We're talking about building a coaching and consulting business. But I really wanted to share that with you because no matter where you are right now, I'm sure you're not a smelly dreadlocked hippie who's in their 20s. And I'm sure you're probably well advanced to where I was back then. But remember, what I did have was that unwavering self-belief. So let's talk about how to build that in you so you can launch or grow your business no matter where you are. All right, I want to also share with you that between 2007 and 2014, I did do 7 years in the rat race. So most of my working career, I have been an entrepreneur, an investor, and a business owner. But I did do a small stint in the corporate world working a regular Monday to Friday job. So I did that 7-year stint as a real job. And I'm super grateful for it. And I have to say, I don't have anything wrong against having a job. I learned so much about the corporate world in that space. I learned a lot about business, and I took my skills as a consultant and as a leader to a whole nother level. But one of the things that happened was my dreams started to die. And I realized that being in the rat race, I'm just getting up every day, doing it again and doing it again. And you kind of get caught up in this safety and security of the paycheck. You know, I was on a really good 6-figure income. And I started to feel myself losing my courage to take risks. And one day I decided, you know what, I want my life back. I'm a single mum. I was a stressed out single mum, working full time and juggling everything. So I set myself a really big, hairy, audacious goal, and I decided, you know what? I only want to work 3 days a week. I want to go back to when I had my business, Mud Drum. We were closed on Mondays, and most Fridays I was off with friends, you know, hanging out back then at the pub, to be honest. But nowadays I have different interests and values. I decided that I wanted to keep that 6 figures a year income, because once you get used to earning 6 figures a year, you find that that's a pretty comfortable space to be in. So I thought, how do I work 3 days a week and earn 6 figures a year? But I also never want to work school holidays again, because as a single mum, juggling my son through school holidays was absolute hell, I have to say. The school holidays for me was the worst time of the year, because there's so many holidays and it's like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this child? I've got to go to school, to work, sorry. I just don't have the time to deal with it. Thank God for my mum. And I also decided that I wanted to get back to traveling overseas every year. So back in my 20s, when I had Mud Drum, travel was a huge part of my life. And I found that when I started working in the corporate world and getting in that daily grind of, you know, pay the mortgage, pay the bills, live week to week, my overseas travel just sort of slowly whittled away, and I just stopped. I stopped booking holidays. And I guess I thought, you know, 4 weeks a year wasn't really enough for me. So I wanted to change all that up. There's 3 things that I think you really need to know before you start building a lifestyle business. And those 3 things are, number 1, what do you love to do? So these are the foundations that you want to build your business on. You know, what do you love to do, or what are you really good at? What have you got experience in? Number 2, what sort of lifestyle do you want to live? You know, is it 3 days a week? Is it 6 days a week? There's no right or wrong here, but you've got to understand, what is your goal? Because if you don't get this right, who knows where you'll end up. And finally, and this is a really important one, and one that most people don't understand how to do, is what will be your minimum viable product? So let me give you some examples of this so I can explain in a little bit more detail. The birth of the 7 Effect was based very much around what I love to do. Just like my business, Mud Drum was. I loved arts and pottery, so I built a business around it. By the time I came to build the 7 Effect with Amy, it was built around setting goals, hanging out with friends and being accountable, learning and development, and also contribution. The pictures you see here are actually all before we became a business. So a little bit of background on the 7 Effect. We started as a goals club. So when we initially got started, it wasn't even a business. And John, I think it was you that said you've got some success in investing and you would love to teach learners. I'd love to learn about what you know there, John, because investing is a real interest of mine. You would love to teach learners how to invest. And so starting with just a few small people and getting some results with them is a really good way to go. So the way the 7 Effect was born is a group of us, there were 7 of us, and that's how we became called the 7 Effect. We met once a month, we set goals, and over the years we started to change our lives, didn't we, Amy?
We did, yeah. Huge things.
Yeah, and it started with small things, but those small goals became big goals. So my first goal was mow the lawn, you know, like clean out the pantry.
Yeah, mine was like, deal with that hideous Tupperware cupboard.
Yeah.
You know, how basic is that? But,
yeah.
You know, it has just been hanging around looking hideous for years.
Yeah. And this is the stuff that we teach people in that life component, in the life audit. You sort your life out, tidy your life up. And then what happened is when we sorted our life out, we started to focus on bigger goals, develop our career, get back into investing. And then finally we started to develop goals around, for me, it was a big one, it's become free again. I want my life back. So start with doing what you love to do. The other thing is, know the type of lifestyle you want to live. And I have to say, I honestly believe that this is one of the reasons why the 7 Effect has been so successful and given Amy and I so much freedom. We were really clear from the get-go. We want to work 3 days a week. So we taught our clients from the start, we do Tuesdays to Thursdays. Now, it's not always like that, is it?
No, not every single week, but it does mean if you know, a couple of hours on a Friday, well, you can take a couple of hours off on a Tuesday.
Yeah, there's lots of flexibility there. Yeah. we came up with a plan to say, right, this is exactly what we need to be able to sell in our first year to both be able to hit that 6 figures. And this is how we'll structure our year so we can have school holidays off. Amy's husband, Luke, is a school teacher, and travel was a big thing for us. So these snapshots are very much about, sorry, I didn't include many photos of you there.
Oh, isn't she so rude, guys? What about me? What about me?
A little bit self-indulgent, but I put these slides together. And you can see, like, that photo of me on the beach with my beanie. Yeah, there's Amy in the
I'm in the middle.
The photo of me on the beach there in the beanie. My partner, Jason, took that snapshot. But that is me literally there coaching our lifestyle business builders. I was down at the beach. I had an idea, so I dialed in live through our Facebook mastermind group and shared with them some ideas. And that's how we run business. We're often we through our life. You know, so we pack up the kids and we take them on holidays, every school holidays, which is wonderful. At the start of this year, that's me, Amy, and Dora Daya, one of our accredited life design coaches. We went off to Texas.
Yeah.
We went there for a leadership conference, and this is one of the beauties of it, tax-deductible business trip, but we just had the most amazing time, didn't we?
Yeah. So John Maxwell, we got to, that was a big goal, to actually hear him speak and present, which was fantastic.
The year before, I went to New York and hung out with Kimra Luna for the day. So Kimra Luna is a 7-figure business builder working on branding and strategy, and that was just fantastic to spend the day with her in New York. And then that's me in the snow with my beautiful son, Jazz. So that's what the business is designed around, life before work. Anything you want to add to that?
No, I think that's the ideal of it, is or just giving yourself the choice to be flexible.
Yeah.
I think that's it, giving you more choices.
Yeah.
I love.
And for us, of course, our MVP or our minimum viable product was the Goals Club. Now, obviously, at the 7 Effect, we offer a lot more than just the Goals Club. But when we started out, we used a free venue, which is at the Hamra Library here in the city of West Torrens. We charged, what did we charge, $50?
No, I think it was $30 when we started.
$30 to attend, and it was for 3 hours. So it was like $10 an hour. In fact, before we even did that, I think we charged $20 and did it around my dining table. Remember when we had Troy Benson and Jackie Dowers? Before we even went to the library, I did that, $20 around the dining table, and we just set goals. And what happened was, obviously, people started showing up, and before you knew it, we got a bit of a following. We started to book out, and then Amy and I broke up and did club. Before we designed a comprehensive, what we call the Ultimate Goals Club, where we take people on a journey for the entire year, a small group of people. And now we're actually training people up to facilitate those for us. So Dora Daya, who did the Goals Club 2 years in a row, now actually hosts our Ultimate Goals Club for us, which is just amazing. And that's where you can go. You know, you start small and you grow a team and you build the business. So make sure that you design your business around these 3 things: what you love to do, the lifestyle you want to live, and a simple, effective, minimum viable product. A really quick tip, before you even begin, you'd just be amazed at how many people we work with don't know these simple things. And this is why I asked, and I was interested even in the survey that I sent to you all before we started, how many people said, oh, I'm not quite sure. Lots of people said, yeah, I know how much I want to earn and I know how often I want to work. But some people don't even know that. So set your target. I want to earn 50 grand a year. I want to earn 250 grand a year. And I want to work 3 days a week or 5 days a week, whatever it is. You won't start there from day one, obviously, but you work towards it. That we work within our Lifestyle Business Builder program, we have a really cool tool, and it's basically a wonderful calculator, and you can do this manually, but you can just kind of plug it in and we go, all right, if you want to earn 100 grand a year, work 3 days a week and only 10 months of the year, you just plug those numbers in and then the tool actually calculates the rest. Now, this is really important to calculate because from that, we work out what your hourly rate needs to be. But even more importantly, we then show people how to design the right products and services mix so that you can hit that 6 figures. And when you understand how to do this properly, and this is mind-blowing for so many of our participants. They go, I don't even know how I would get to 6 figures selling one-on-one coaching at $150 an hour. Well, I'll tell you how. You won't. You've got to have a mix of products, and I'm going to talk to you about leverage in a moment. But you can see here, this is just 4 different products. This is almost, but not exactly, what we did in our first year. And just those 4 products with very small numbers. You'll see there's not hundreds of thousands here of anything, gets us to $213,000. Now, that's not bad at all for your first year in business. And if you have a good network and a community and products that deliver results, then it's absolutely achievable. So that's a really great process to go through, and it's really, really critical. So on tonight's agenda, we're talking about how the world has changed and what you can actually do about that as an entrepreneur, as a coach, as a consultant, because now is the best time to be in business. I want to share with you the number one thing you must focus on if you run clients, and this is where so many people fail. I also want to talk with you around positioning yourself as high value. The only way you're going to get to 6 figures a year working part-time is if you are a high-value coach and consultant, not an average coach and consultant. How are we going for sound there, by the way? Is it all okay?
Yeah. Can you repeat number 2, please?
Oh, number 2.
Just make sure that's...
Yep. Number 2 that is, was that the number 2 of the previous slide? Let me just go back. I wonder if that was number 2 there. The lifestyle you want to live is the important thing you need to know for Amanda. All right, let me flick forward. Sorry, Amanda. Yourself as high value, 3 simple strategies to leverage your success. And then finally, which is what so many people have asked for, Jody and Amy, give us your step-by-step plan. So Paul, Donna, Steph, lots of you have asked for that step-by-step plan. I'm going to leave you with that by the end of the webinar. So let's get stuck into it. All right. The really important thing you need to understand at the moment is the world has changed massively. I don't know if you're aware of this movement that's going around, but now is the era of the entrepreneur or the infopreneur. And I would encourage you to get out your pen and paper right now if you haven't already got one and jot down the name of some of these books. So particularly, I would flag with you The End of Jobs and The 4-Hour Workweek. Now, the 4-Hour Workweek, which was actually written in 2006.
Years ago, yep.
Yeah, 9 years ago, and it's still cutting edge to so many people. But this is old stuff that's only now becoming mainstream. The End of Jobs talks about, and I love Taylor Pearson's work, about how a safe, secure job is no longer the smartest thing. And actually the smartest and safest thing that you can do these days is become an entrepreneur, because the world has changed so much. Big companies are outsourcing, downsizing, and changing the way they recruit for talent. And in fact, being a high-value consultant is a much safer way to secure yourself a steady income and have a much greater life of freedom. I love this quote by Seth Godin. If you do things that are safe but feel risky, you gain a significant advantage in the marketplace. Now, have a think about this, because this is a really important. People believe that things are risky when they really are quite safe, but it stops them from look the way the world has changed and what some of the businesses are that are leveraging that strategy. So if you think about Uber, for example, when Uber first came out, I remember my auntie and my nana and my mum saying things like, oops, what's happened now?
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, Amy, just yeah, I'm blaming Amy.
No,
I'm living below the line, but it really was her fault.
No, that was me, guys. I'm trying to move the little mouse.
You're supposed to be
the
the technology, so let the mouse be there. That's okay. So let's go back to the businesses that are leveraging this. So Uber is a classic one. When Uber first came out, my mum, my auntie, my nana were all like, oh my God, it's so dangerous. You can't get in a car with strangers, rah, rah, rah. And there was a lot of fear around that. The same with Airbnb. You know, people, oh God, how can you put your house on the internet and actually let strangers go and have access to it? Well, where we are sitting right now used to be my home. I've actually moved in with my partner, Jason, and this home is on Airbnb. And, you know, in the downtime, which is very rare these days, it's fully booked. And on Airbnb, we actually get twice as much as what we would renting it the conventional way. There's also just simple strategies like learning to invest. Investing in property, investing in shares. So many people think that that's risky, but it's only risky if you're an idiot. If you do it the smart way, it's really safe, and it's actually really silly not to. You know, Papa used to always say to me, Jodie, make your money work for you so you don't have to work so hard for it. So right from the get-go, as soon as I started making money, I started investing money. And, you know, property for me is something that I really enjoy. Just starting to dabble in shares and have a bit of fun there. This idea, the notion of having a virtual assistant, be able to manage part of your business. You know, Amy and I have got, I'm a director in another business where we have a virtual assistant as the bookkeeper. Amy and I have a virtual assistant that manages a lot of our sort of administrative stuff. A lot of people think that that's scary, but if you don't set yourself up that way, then you're going to be behind the 8 ball. Particularly if you have a business in bookkeeping and accounting or financial administration, you need to understand how to get your grinders working offshore so you can afford to be competitive. We've worked with lots of corporate clients that are accounting firms, and that is just the way the industry is going. So if you're not up to speed with that, then you're going to get left behind. And of course, starting a business. It's seemingly risky. So many people think it is, but actually read Taylor Pearson's End of Jobs. It is the safest thing you can do to really secure yourself a steady future of freedom. So I would ask you this question: what are the safe but seemingly risky things that you will do? Would you want me to give you some examples so you can get yourself started? How are we going there?
Does anyone have any?
Any examples?
You can comment away, guys, if you do have anything, and we'll have a look, but Jodie will keep going.
Let me give you some. So number one, this is the safest and seemingly risky thing that has actually helped me build a reputation in the corporate world as a really effective leadership trainer, coach, and consultant, is go there. Have the conversation everyone is afraid to have. If you want to be a high value coach or consultant, you cannot be suffering from the disease to please, and you cannot play it safe. You need to challenge your clients in a way that stretches them and in a way that's constructive but also challenging. Really, really important. Another idea is break the rules. Do the things that everyone thinks are impossible. You know, when I set the goal to say we want to build a lifestyle business, we want to work 3 days a week, we want to earn 6 figures a year, do you think most people thought that was even possible? No way. People thought we were freaking crazy. You might even be sitting there right now thinking, it's not possible. I couldn't do it. It's okay for you. That's why you could do it, yada, yada. But if you want to be a 6-figure coach or consultant, you need to be able to break the rules. You need to possible. They're not. The next one is be the outlier. Buck the trends in your industry. You know, so many people get caught up in the industry norms. Oh, this is just how it works in our industry. Oh, it's just how it goes here. This is just what it's like working in this space. If that's what it's like and that it's what everyone else is doing, do something different. And finally, here's another idea. Share your stuff. Be open with your content rather than overprotective. A lot of business owners that are getting started, particularly when they're in the idea stage, is they hold on to their idea with this kind of secretive cloak and dagger approach, like they're holding the key to the universe and they don't want anyone to know about it because they're worried they're going to steal it. But that is absolutely ridiculous. You've got to spread the word. You can't be sitting somewhere for years in a corner researching and building a beautiful, perfect website or program and then ready to launch 3 years later. You actually got to get out there and start sharing your stuff. Be open with your content. Give it away for free. We do it a lot. For those of you that are in our community, you would know how much we do this. We have our entire life audit. It's a free program that we charge clients $350 to go through the experience with us. People can do the entire thing online for free. But here's the thing. When they go through that, they often get the feeling that, you know what, I've got the taste of it, but I want someone to challenge me at the next level. I want to work through it personally with a real live person. So the more you give your stuff away, the more you open up the idea of people actually getting a sense of what it would like to be working with you, and then they'll want to start working with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that's exactly, sharing is caring. And now we actually have got a question though from Vivian to interrupt
Vivian,
you.
Yes, let's talk about it. She's not comfortable. Yeah, look, a lot of people aren't, Vivian, taking advantage of people. Now, this is really interesting. I don't be sorry at all to be blunt, but when you look at taking advantage of so-called people in poverty, giving them employment and actually paying them a salary in their world that actually positions them as someone that's actually earning a good income, I don't see that as taking advantage at all. In fact, our virtual assistant is so incredibly grateful, because if she wasn't doing the work for us and the other clients that she works with, she wouldn't be earning an income. So their, what would you call it, economy is at an entirely different scale.
No, I was saying, you know, is there any other way? And, you know, there's always different ways of doing things, but exactly that. I mean, Christina, who we've got, who's based in the Philippines, that does help us out.
She's wonderful.
She is wonderful. And the work that she does and being a virtual assistant actually allows her own lifestyle business.
It is her lifestyle
So,
business as well. And that's what she said. She used to actually work in another organisation where she'd go to work, and she said, you know, I want to do this because I want to work from home.
Yeah.
I want my own lifestyle business. So, you know, being overly cautious is a big mistake. And the other thing to remember, Vivian, is you're not forcing anyone to do it. It's not like they're being forced to come and work for you. They're putting their hand up saying, I'd like to be employed. These are my rates. Would you like to employ me? They're a consultant and they set the rate. So, I think it's a real win-win. A lot of people get caught up in, oh, it's stealing jobs from Australians, and they get all very old folks, and we all live on this one planet together. And I think the more open and sharing and better everybody is. So being overly cautious, big mistake. But here are 3 more that I want to share with you. And these 3 are probably the most common that I see. Number 1 is undervaluing yourself and your services. So a lot of clients that start working with us come and they've set themselves up in a non-sustainable way. Over-servicing, underpricing, and running themselves ragged. Another big mistake is when people get caught up focusing on all the wrong stuff. So spending months and months and thousands of dollars building a beautiful website or creating some high-tech opt-in sales funnel and all of these different things, when you should actually be doing something entirely different, which is just winning clients and building relationships. And finally, number 3 is not using leverage properly. So I thought I would give you some really quick examples of how this can impact you and hold your business back, and then let's give you some strategies to counter these problems so you don't fall into those categories. Can anyone relate, by the way? Is anyone actually making any of these 3 big mistakes? A lot of the people that start our Business Builder program say, you know what, sign me up for all 3. I have to say I'm making them all.
Yeah, and you will, yes, you will get an email after the presentation. Sorry, I should have mentioned that at the beginning. It's Amy here, where you'll get a link to be able to go back through the webinar as well. So we've just got a question there. So you will receive the recording of the webinar.
So let me share with you an example of undervaluing. So this, when she joined our Lifestyle Business Builder program as a private client. So she did one-on-one coaching with Amy and I, and also accessed the mastermind program. When she joined, she already had a great business in place, Mind's Eye Training. She specialises in doing mental health first aid. She had an amazing reputation, was getting rave reviews and fantastic referral work. So all of her work was coming from referrals. However, she was pricing herself so low, and she had a day job, has a day job on top of this. She was pricing herself so low that it was becoming exhausting, and she couldn't for the life of herself see how she could scale up. She was thinking, you know, the more I do, the harder it becomes. The more clients I get, this isn't helping me. It's making life harder, not easier. So with some coaching and some belief busting NLP work and some reshifting of how she does her pricing structure and the products that she can offer out to the market, rose so many mind's eye to a whole nother level. She actually fell pregnant along the way and has taken some time out just to have the baby. But when the baby's born, she now has a strategy to go in and hit that 6 figures with much less effort and much higher reward. And I really loved, she shared a post in our mastermind group, and it's the small things that make the biggest difference. She said, "This might seem like a really small thing to you guys, but I've had a massive breakthrough today. I've been working with a client setting up and doing mental health first aid training, and the room that I use there takes me an hour to set up and an hour to pack down, but I was just charging them for my time to do the training." And she said, "After doing some sessions with Jody around my beliefs and my value, I found the courage to say to the client, look, I've got these extra 2 hours. Can I charge you for those?" And she said that was so far out of our comfort zone to ask the client to be able to do that. Now, the amazing thing was the client said, "Absolutely, of course, please go ahead and do that." And so that was a really big breakthrough for Rosie, and she stopped undervaluing herself. So I do want to mention, though, in terms of undervaluing, sometimes you can undervalue as a strategy. So just by way of example, and we do this a lot for most of our programs, as I've mentioned, we have a lifestyle business builder program. So it's a mastermind program. You can join it as in the mastermind group. You can join as a private client. We only work with 10 a year. Or you can do the ultimate business builder, which is like a licensed, it's sort of like think of buying a franchise. If you don't have business content, you just want to buy into it. The investment, the regular investment for the first level is $6,000. The next level is $13,000, and the license investment is $25,000. Now, that's great value on its own, but what we do is we actually, before probably 2 months out, we will do an early bird, and we'll promote that where we will give immense value and offer out an early bird rate. So if you've got programs that you want to offer out to the public, think about using undervaluing as a strategy. The other thing that we do, and we'll be talking you through this at the end if you're interested in this program, is we also offer a super early bird. The program begins next year in February 2018. Launch is our super early bird space. So I'll talk you through the prices of that afterwards. So sometimes undervaluing can be a good strategy, because if you think about it, if you get some people on as the early bird and there's only a limited number of places, you can authentically say, and you should always be authentic, and these should be real prices, don't just make stuff up. You can authentically say, we only have 4 places left or 8 places left. So it helps you get that background or that buffer in there. 1,000 Dreams, didn't we?
Yeah, yep. So we had our early bird, and now we've actually got a discounted price, and then it'll go to the full price just before we kick off. Yeah, so Cocktails and Dreams, massive event we do in December. When did we do it? February. We sold the first 80 for 80, February, March. Yeah, I think by April they were all sold. And by April, this is an event for December, but by April the whole thing was sold out. The first 80, and then we sold another 40. So it's a really great way to actually get those numbers in there, because our goal is to get to at least 250 by December. So yeah, can be used as a strategy. The other example, focusing on the wrong stuff. So I love these girls, Stitches and Spoons. Again, another one of our private clients that we're working with at the moment. And I would encourage you to check these people out, because they are real businesses that have all, come along to the program and experienced growth. Google them, look at what they're doing if you want to observe people that are building genuine lifestyle businesses. The Stitches and Spoons girls had a business. They'd been set up for about 1.5 years, was it, Amy, or 2 years? Yeah, I think not quite 2 years, but getting pretty close. Getting close to 2 years. And when they came to us, they said, you know what, for 2 years we've been bumbling along. We haven't made any money whatsoever in our business, but they've been putting a lot of time and energy into it. They're both self-confessed perfectionists. And they'd been spending a lot of time in building a website and trying to write blogs and creating lovely recipes and free downloadables and all of that stuff.
but they were failing to get a community engaged. And so what we did was we came up with a strategy where we first went, well, I looked at their website and said, I don't get what you girls are trying to offer me. You know, you're a couple of clever, crafty chicks. What does stitches and spoons even mean? And Alicia is the stitches. She loves craft and sewing and knitting and all those things. And Amanda is the spoons. She loves cooking. And they said, you know, it's really about, we want to inspire women to create a family or a home that's around healthy, happy, and homemade. So what we've done is built a community, an online community, and this is, again, something you can do for free on Facebook. You set up an online community. We came up with all sorts of strategies where they could grow that, and in just a matter of months, less than 2 months, they've now got 150 people, and they've only just started this, engaged and, you know, experiencing now their workshops and people that they can easily fill up events and things with. So again, we just got them focused on the right stuff. If you're sitting building a business or trying to build a website behind the scenes, much better to put that time and energy into a community where you can offer value and share with people your wisdom. The final example that I wanted to share with you is not using leverage. So this is another one of our private clients. This is Sue Ruslin. And Sue is a dental expert. So again, when Sue came to us, she's already a leader in her field. She knows her stuff inside out. We're not teaching her the bare basics of how to be a leader. She's got the contacts, she has the industry knowledge. She wanted to become a dental consultant rather than working as a dentist practice manager. She also was a savvy investor. She has properties and shares, and so she understands the importance of residual income, and she understood the importance of leverage, but she didn't know how to do that in her business. So we sat together with Sue and we designed that product mix that I showed you, you know, how we have that template to be able to do it. And we came up with a strategy where Sue could actually have multiple streams of income coming through in her business. And what I love is she went away and spent a couple of months on a yacht, living on a yacht with her husband. And then when she came back, we had an amazing coaching session, and I asked her to share with the mastermind group what she'd been up to. And she said, in the past 2 months, I've had 2 speaking engagements and booked a 3rd one, all paying gigs. So she wasn't even having to give her time away for free. I've picked up 3 clients for blocks of coaching, 1 for a 3-month block and 1 for a 6-month block, and another for only a 4-hour block at a fee of $1,000. I've sold a dental practice and to date have earned almost $20,000. Not bad for a couple of months, hey. I'm about to sign another dentist to sell his 2-country dental practice over the next few months, and I'm just beginning. I've had 5 sessions to date with Jodie and Amy, and I'm learning to trust what I have and what it takes. The coaching I've received from the girls is everything I need to start this and to get me organised and focused. So one of the things that I would say, or the key lesson here, is understand how to leverage your time, but also get focused on doing the right stuff. You know, remember that if you don't have a coach or someone you can be accountable with, then you need to have absolute discipline in your lifestyle. To be high value. How are you going to do that? You also need to be focused on the right stuff. No more procrastinating with making pretty websites and landing pages. Get out there and start building relationships with real people and offering real value. And of course, finally, you need to understand leverage. I want to unpack that a little bit more and give you some actual strategies of how you can do that now. So are we all still good and on board? Is it making sense, Amy?
It's all making sense to me.
Okay, great. So you might all be wondering, and I don't know if any of you saw the video that I shared. This is fascinating. I did a live masterclass, and we've got another one coming up in November if anyone's interested in doing that. It will actually be a half-day workshop. But I asked the group there, what's the number one thing you need to focus on to win clients? And everyone was having a guess, weren't they? Yeah. You know, customer service, building trust, you know, all of these sort of things. And it's not that any of those things aren't right, but the number one thing, of course, is Wait for it. Results. If you are not getting results in your clients' lives, then you are not going to continue to get work. So the number one thing is not about your email list. It is not about having the right logo. It is not about the colors that you choose in your style guide. The number one thing is not the quality of paper that you print your business card on. None of that stuff matters as much as getting results. You need to be able to get results in your own life first so that you can teach clients how to get results in theirs. And a really important thing about your results is that they need to be real. So you can't fake results. And people are going to know, you know, you don't go to a broke person. And this is what drives me crazy about financial planners. Has anyone ever been to see a financial planner who's behind the scenes, probably college, their certificate now to say I'm an accredited financial planner, but they actually don't have any wealth behind them. If you don't have the results in your own life, then you need to start getting the results in your own life. Don't be a life coach with a messy life. Sort your life out and then teach people how to sort their life out. The other thing is your results should be recent. And what I mean by that is, remember I said a day when I had Muddrum, we had national TV exposure for free 10 years ago. And the Seven Effect hasn't had any. Have we been on TV?
No.
No, damn it.
Not yet.
Not yet. We haven't had any TV exposure. So I don't build into the program. This is what I can guarantee you to do. I can get you results where I can get you on national TV for free because I'm not doing it in the here and now. And you don't need to be able to do that to build a six-figure business. As you've seen through that product mix, you only need a few key clients with the right high-value products and you'll get to the six figures. It's actually easier than you think if you've got the right thinking and the right structure behind you. And the other thing is that your results need to be relevant, which kind of speaks for itself. It's fairly obvious. I want to remind you, though, because this is where I see so many people get caught up, clients don't give a hoot about how many pieces of paper you have. If you're thinking, well, I need to get that MBA and I need to first get this qualification and this certification before I can start getting results with people, you've got the wrong idea here. Clients pay for your results, not qualifications. Now, don't get me wrong. I am a learning junkie and I love having qualifications and I love having expertise. I've got a string of different qualifications and diplomas and advanced diplomas, but no one's ever asked for them. No one has ever asked if they could see my actual certificates. And another thing, and I see this all the time working with leaders, the world's full of highly qualified yet ineffective people. And, you know, when I was at that yoga retreat, Dr. Ananda, he said this, the yoga guru as well. He said, in India, so many people are excellent at passing exams. They know how to get the qualification and they become a doctor and they forget how to think. They forget how to challenge the norms. And if I value coach or consultant, you need to go against the grain, not swim with the masses. Really, really important there. And I love this excerpt from the book Millionaire Messenger. So this was one of the books that I recommended you read. And this is a really good step-by-step book, actually, if you're looking for a simple way to get started. It's about Tony Robbins. So Tony started his business as a young kid who was washing his dishes in the bathtub because his tiny apartment didn't even have a working kitchen sink. He had no certification or formation that allowed him to do what he does. But as Tony likes to say, PhD in results. And if you look at Tony Robbins, he is the most successful and highest paid coach or guru in his industry. It's just because he knows how to get results. So the question for you becomes, what measurable, and this is the key here, what measurable results will your clients achieve? I want to give you some examples of how you can work this out. And you need to get this right in your marketing, folks. This is so, so important. So let's look at some examples. if you are working in a space of health and nutrition, you might say, well, I help clients lose weight. Not good enough. You would say something more like, I help clients lose 5 kilos in 5 days. Now, you probably wouldn't do that because I think that's probably very unhealthy. That'd probably kill you. But you know what I mean. So I help clients lose this much in this amount of time. So it's tangible, it's measurable. Improve sales. So you don't just say, I help businesses improve their sales. You'd say, I have a formula that once implemented will help you in bottom line by 50% in 3 months. Now, with things like this, there's a little bit of a caveat here. You have to have been able to do it in your own life first. This is important. And you have to demonstrate that other people could achieve it if they did all of the steps required. Along the way, people are going to fail to implement every step. So that's their responsibility, not yours. As long as your formula is foolproof in saying, if you did the things required, you would get the results. For example, this is what we do in the workplace. So we work a lot in the corporate world as well, although we're moving further and further away from that. But it's been a huge start for us, hasn't it, Amy?
Yeah, that's really helped get the business going.
Yeah, I mean, we started earning money in the leadership space because that's what we were both known for. That was our background. And so our accountability there is we can help an organisation improve their leadership effectiveness and team culture by 100% in just 6 months. Now, that is a massive promise. But guess what? The organisations that we work with are so dysfunctional that it is so easy to get 100% improvement in 6 months because there are just a few key little things that every organisation with is missing. And so we actually know, and we have a measure, we run a survey and say this is where you are now. We can help you get 100% better in 6 months' time if you do these key things. And when they do them, they get the results. And of course, related to our Lifestyle Business Builder, if you want to help people start a business, we can help you build a business and earn 6 figures a year working part-time. And again, it's if you do the steps that we show. So the people that are following the steps get the results. The people that don't follow the steps, of course, they won't get the results. So I hope that helps you think about, you know, the results. What results will you help people achieve in their business? The other thing that I really want to highlight here is the importance of being high value. So to be high value, you actually need to join the revolution against the cult of the average. And I love that saying. It's stolen from a guy called Shawn Achor, who wrote the book, The Happiness Advantage. And Shawn talks about the cult of the average and how, as a society, being average has become the norm, and we focus on below average and we think, oh, wouldn't it be awesome if we could just get to average? What you want to do is work with people to get above average and work with outliers to become high performing. Well, that's the big question. How, Jody? How do I do that? Well, let me tell you how. The number one thing you need to do as a coach and consultant is stop focusing on creating safe and secure spaces. Now, there's nothing wrong with safety and security. Are we all good still, Amy? Are people still hearing? Yep. There's nothing wrong with safety and security. But I've got to tell you, as a coach and as a consultant, I see way too many getting onto my life design group. Welcome to my goals club. This is a safe space. Please, we'll all be secure to share. I want to create a safe environment during this workshop so everyone can feel safe to share their feelings. The problem with that is it keeps people in that safety and security mindset. Instead, what you need to be doing is creating spaces that stretch and grow people. There's nothing wrong with being safe, but when people are looking for safety, it automatically implies that they're in a fear-based mindset. And if we have a look at good old classic Maslow of needs, you look at the lower order needs there. So physiological is number one, but the need for safety is right there at the bottom. It is not high value. It is a low order need. with some clever consulting and some really constructive communication, you can very quickly and effectively, and this is what we teach in our coaching masterclass, you can quickly and effectively move people's mindset from focusing on safety to becoming self-actualized. There's a process to do that, but as a coaching consultant, really big tip, stop putting everyone in the space of feeling safe, because let's face it, half the time the fear is imagined. It's not that we're living in an unsafe space. Put them in a space for growth. Challenge people to take risks. And I love this quote by Abraham Maslow. Everything we're doing, we're either step forward into growth or we're stepping back into safety. So as a consultant, do you really want your clients to be stepping back into safety? Absolutely not. You also need to understand the hierarchy of value. So the lowest value, and this is again, a lot of people that are good at everything, they, oh, I want to be a generalist. You know, I do a bit of this and I help people with that. But the lowest level of value is the person that can work with everyone to do everything, the generalist. Think about when you go to the GP. They go, oh, okay, let's just look at you generally. They go, oh, that's interesting. You've got a specific disorder. I need to send you off to the specialist. The specialist is a higher value. And then the specialist goes, oh, this is a very specific disorder. We need to send you off to a certified specialist. So this one is someone that actually has a higher rank. Certified specialist is the expert authority. And this is the space that I would encourage you to get to, is how do you work your way up to be considered an expert authority in your niche? The way to do that is creating spaces that grow. And then finally, the pinnacle, I guess, is the celebrity there, right at the top of the pyramid. And the reason it goes up like that is because the celebrity does the least work for the highest amount of income. So the higher you go, the higher your income, but the lower the effort. Getting to the top requires focus and leverage. You need to be focused on the right things. You need to be focused on delivering results. And you also need to know how to more time as a coach and consultant. How we've done that at the 7 Effect. And this is really good strategies here. So these are 3 simple yet super effective leverage strategies that you can implement in your business to help you work your way up that hierarchy of value. So the number 1 is leverage your time, work less for more. Well, what's the smartest way you can leverage your time is put your rates up. A lot of the clients that we begin working with, they're not charging enough. And there's a really great book. What is that old school book, Amy? Was it Persuasion or Influence that we've listened to on Audible? I don't remember what it's called. Persuasion? Yeah, it's like an old school book. I think it's called, it might just be called Influence or Persuasion. And anyway, if you go to YouTube, you can Google the 6 strategies of influence or persuasion. And it talks about how to influence. What was I saying there? So what is it we want to, increase your value by putting up your prices. And it's not about ripping people off, but it's about actually using the powers of influence and persuasion and understanding if your rates are really, really low, that you are probably really, really crap. So here's where I was going with that. Sorry, I'm talking in circles here. It's just come to me. In the book, it showed some research around some different products, and they had exactly the same product, but one of it was priced at maybe 5 times the same product. One of them was priced 5 times as much as the other. And when people are looking at them, maybe they're just slightly different packaging, but the same one, people were much more inclined to go for the higher priced one because they automatically assume that it's higher value. Now, I'm not talking about, and Vivian, this is for you because I sense that you might be someone that goes, oh, I don't want to do trickery and manipulation. And I really get that because we're not about that at the 7 Effect either. What I'm talking about here is valuing yourself enough to put your prices up to what they're worth and position yourself in the market where someone can actually pay for what you're worth because you get the results. So an example of that is when I work with clients in the leadership space, quite often they've spent maybe $10,000, $20,000 on a problem, culture, for example, and then they might say, all right, this problem has existed for 5 or 10 years. We need a solution. Jody, we'll get you in for a half-day workshop. We've been recommended that you'll get the results. We charge, what do we charge for a half-day workshop? $3,500. Half-day workshop, $3,500. Now, for a 3.5-hour workshop, that might seem astronomically expensive to you guys. But I can tell you what, for the clients, if they can go, you know what, in 3.5 hours, we've got the result that we've been trying to achieve for the last 5 or 10 years, it is a bargain, because they've just saved themselves a fortune and they've got there faster, and they've probably wasted a lot more money earlier. And we can back those results, and we don't even promote that we do that work. That all comes purely from referrals, and that comes from being high value. The next one we do is want to leverage your exposure. So when clients come to work with us and they have an idea about a business, a lot of the time their thinking is in one-on-one. I want to help people. I want to coach them to do these certain things. The first thing we will help you do is say, all right, let's come up with a product mix where, yes, you'll have a few one-on-one, bring in some workshops, let's do some group coaching, and let's design a keynote presentation where you can get paid to get out there and expose yourself, not nudie, but expose yourself and all you have to offer to a larger group of people. And it's about leveraging your time there as well. And of course, there's leveraging your community. And this is one of the strategies that we did when we started the 7 Effect. And this was really what helped us launch, is we set up a partnership with the Australian Institute of Management. So they were looking for something, we had something to offer, we created a joint venture, and they had a big community that we were able to get our message out to and launch our business in. So again, we actually teach people how to go through all of these, and in our Business Builder program, we have all the case studies, we have all the step-by-step things you need to do to be able to do this. But I'm hoping that this makes sense. Obviously, I'm not going to go on all night. I will flag with you, though, if you are at any point thinking, I need to personalise this, at the end of the session, I'll tell you how you can get a free 30-minute strategy session if you're thinking, help me, I need to know how that works in my world. So Amy and I are here to offer that. I just thought I would flag you. Right, so now let's get into, I hope I'm not going too fast for people, but let's get into the most important thing, and this is what so many of you asked for, a step-by-step business plan, you know, to create an unsinkable business. Think of it as building a ship and sending it, not the Titanic, because the Titanic was so-called the unsinkable ship that sank on its first maiden voyage. But I want to talk you through the exact 8 steps that Amy and I used to build the 7 Effect, and the exact 8 steps that we use in our Business Builder program. And bear in mind that this is an overview. Each of these steps we take people through very comprehensively. We do an entire month on the step, and there's a workbook and a checklist and, you know, lots of videos on how to do each one of them. But if you're savvy, get your notepad ready, write them down, and you'll get an understanding of how to get started, or at least how to grow your business to the next level. And of course, if you want to actually work with us, I'll tell you how to do that later as well. So step 1 is get clear on your vision. Find that focus. How much money am I earning a year? Set yourself a target and make it a stretch target. Strengths, know what your skills are. And we take people through a whole diagnostic process where we work out what your core values are, your top 5 strengths, what your personality profile is, and all of that's included in the program. And so by the end of this module, you get a very strong sense of who you are and what you have to offer. We put together your bio, and we also teach you how to put together your story so that your story relates to your target audience. And a lot of people, you know, is in the first module, Amy and I share our story, and so many of the people, don't they, Amy, say, was really amazing to hear your story and reflect on my own story. And I'd never thought about my story being part of my marketing for my business. So step one, get clear on your vision. Is there anything else you'd add?
Yeah, no, because I think you can underestimate how many people are out there that have a similar story.
Yeah.
And they're the people that will really resonate with you and becoming a client eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. Step two. Now, this is a big one. Clean up your beliefs. Most people have an underlying or unconscious track running in the back of their mind of I can't, it won't work, what if it fails, self-doubt, blah, 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 blah. So you really want to understand how to overcome fear. In this module, we talk about how to transform your unconscious mind. So Amy and I are both qualified NLP practitioners. We're also hypnotists, and we teach you how to actually use those skills. And with our private clients, we actually take them through some NLP processes to shift unlimiting beliefs. And this is foundational. You have to get this stuff right if you want to launch the right business, because I tell you what, this is the space where people fall down. They get started, they go out there, they have their first knockback or their rejection, and then fear sets in, and all of the self-talk becomes, it's never going to work, I can't. And this is why getting a coach and becoming part of a group is such an important thing, because it keeps you pushing forward. Step three is designing your high-value solutions. So remember I showed you that calculator that we use to come up with your six-figure product mix. You'll see there, you don't need to invent 101 products. We say literally get the right 3 or products that flow into each other. Just come up with small numbers to find the fastest, easiest, most effective way to your 6 figures. Start with a minimum viable product and test the water. You've got to start somewhere. Our first Goals Club was $30 for 3 hours. And, the first ones that we had, there was times, wasn't there, Amy, when Amy's laughing because she knows what I'm going to say.
Well, I'm just thinking it was 2 to 1.
Yeah.
It was Jodie and I and one client.
That's right. Good old Pam. We always bring up Pam. But,
we always bring up Pam.
Yeah.
And beautiful Pam, we've got her wedding coming up next month.
She's been a client ever since, and Amy's even invited to her wedding. I didn't get an invite.
Well, I'm still working with Pam.
Yeah, because Amy stayed her coach for all these years and kept working with her in a Goals Club. I went off and did other stuff. But anyway, the truth of it is, and I'll tell you another book actually, write this down, The Lean Startup. And that was the first book we got on audio, wasn't it? Audible was when we started our business, as we did The Lean Startup. We come up with our minimum viable product, which is testing the waters. And absolutely, $30 for 3 hours, 2 of us, that's $15 each. 1 client, which was Pam. We knew that model wasn't profitable, but we got such great feedback, and we got to trial and test the ideas and have a small group of people giving us genuine feedback, which then that same product just 2 years later sold for $6,000 for an 8-month program, Goals Club. So we went from $30 as a test case to a $6,000 program in just 2 years. That's freaking amazing, really. All right, so that's step 3. I get a bit excited sometimes when I reflect on what we've achieved. I go, oh my God, I have to pitch myself.
It's easy to forget. Yeah.
It's easy to forget. So step 4, be a master. This is so important. And we do a 2-day coaching masterclass. And I've actually filmed that. Well, not me personally. We had a film guy film that of me running it. And we've captured the whole thing and included it in our Business Builder program, because it's such an important thing where we have our entire toolkit. To be a master, you need to be high value. You need to deliver results. Remember, what is that seemingly risky but safe approach in your business? And the other thing that we talk a lot about in our program is you must understand human behavior. People overprocess all the time. All right, step 5 is connect with the perfect client. Now, isn't this interesting? Steps 1 to 4 are all inside stuff. It's fun to use stuff right. Now connecting with people is to be niche. Don't try and be a generalist. Work specifically with a group of people. We work with coaches and consultants to build a lifestyle business. We don't help all businesses build all, you know, we don't really work with people who want to set up a shop or become a franchisor. We work with coaches and consultants. Build relationships with people within that industry. Understand their problems. You know, we've got their 3 biggest mistakes that we know that most of the coaches and clients, that consultants that come to us that want to get started are suffering from these biggest mistakes. And then have a proven strategy to solve those problems, which we absolutely back ourselves on being able to do. Number 6 is, and the key thing in step number 6 here is to keep it simple, even though this might look complex, but come up with a simple structure and a plan. So we have a simple plan on a page. There are 5 key focus areas that you need to set measurable goals around, and you need to have accountability in your business. I can't stress enough, and this was the key to our success, is when we started, the first thing we did was we took $10,000 out of our life savings. Well, it was actually out of Amy's life savings. We signed up with a coach for that accountability, and that's what kick-started us. We paid for a $10,000 coaching program. Get some accountability in your life. Step number 7 is automate and systemize. Systemize. So you need operate, and look at this. We're at step 7. This is nearly the end step. We've got all this other stuff going on before. Only now do you need to start building your operating systems, your lead generation system, your engagement strategy, and your online presence. You know, it wasn't even until year 2.5, and even still we're now working on this 3 years into our business, that we started really investing money in getting this right. In the first instance, our income came from know what we do well, which is leadership, win a client. Our very first corporate client was a $60,000 contract. We got 2 more of those and boom, you're in business. That's what we teach people how to do, is get a client first, make the money, then automate it. And then finally, step 8 is to continually grow your community. And by this, I mean creating partnerships, building connections with the relevant industry bodies and peak industry bodies and networks. And finally, add massive value for free, like the Stitches and Spoons girls were, and like we do in our life design school. So if you actually want to get a better insight into how we operate, check out our free life design school on Facebook. And that's just a screenshot there of it. It's a good model. We've got over, 500 members in there now. Yeah. We deliver massive value. It's a goal-setting introduction program. It's got a video there where we welcome people into the group. It's got an online program that's free that supports it. And every single month, we give away prizes that help people, that encourage people to set goals and be held accountable. So those are the 8 steps to actually build through your business. And we will be sharing a copy of the slides, will we? Or they'll get the recording of that.
Yeah, you get the recording.
In case I went through that too fast. I want to share a really quick story with you about a call that changed my life. And I hope that this might really remind you of what's possible if you learn how to leverage your own skills, knowledge, and experience. So back in the day when I was, in my pottery studio, making my little mud drums and selling them all over the world, we'd won lots of awards. I was recognised as someone who was excellent in marketing and branding. I'd been started to do a few coaching for other small businesses, and I got a call that completely changed my life. And it was a lady that was running a conference, and she asked me to be a keynote speaker. And she said, Jodie, I've watched what you've done in marketing and branding. I'm running a conference for executive assistants, and I would love you to come along and talk about the value of building a brand. And I said, okay, sure. And she said, look, I don't have a lot of money left in the budget, 45-minute slot. Would you be willing to consider it? And I thought, oh, not a lot of money left in the budget. Maybe she's got $100, $150, 45 minutes. That'd be all right. I'd be happy with $100, $150 for 45 minutes. And she said, I've only got $2,000 for the 45 minutes. at that moment, I was like, oh my God, I tried to play it cool, but I had a massive light bulb moment. Probably not in the moment. I had a freak out and went, wow, that's incredible. But after I hung up the phone and had said, let me check in a very cool, calm way, let me check my diary, I thought, wow, $2,000 for 45 minutes. Drums I would have to make pure profit. So this is taking out the cost of the materials and the production and paying the wages and the overhead and the staff to produce them, because at this team I had a team of 6 people working for me. And I just had this massive breakthrough moment, and I went, you know what I know about business is actually more valuable. My skills, knowledge and experience is more valuable than what I'm doing, than actually doing it. So there's a lot to be said now for the value of teaching, coaching, consulting. And this is the space that so many people are more and more spending their time in. People want to pay for expert advice so they can get somewhere in life faster. I love this quote, good old unknown. Entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, and the rest of your life like most people can't. And it's such an important thing to understand. You know, if you want to get results, you've got to roll up your sleeves. And I honestly think it takes 12 months to 2 years of good, solid commitment to get that steady flow. Amy and I got it happening in our first 12 months. We hit the milestones and we were thrilled. And now we actually teach people how to get there. If you do take action, results. Another great book for you is The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. If you're the kind of person that needs a massive kick up the backside, get this on audio and listen to it. In it, he says, when it comes to taking action, here is how most people operate. There's a portion of people out there that'll just do nothing. So we watch the webinar and we go, okay, that was interesting. I hung around for the whole lot. I liked the ideas. I've been thinking about doing this business for the last 2 or 3 years. You get off the masterclass and then life gets busy and you do nothing. The other thing that people can do is they can retreat. They might actually go, whoa, 8 steps. Oh, I didn't realize it was going to be so hard. I thought it would just be like a copy and swipe file, an easy downloadable, do the work, push button system where it could all be done for me, and I didn't realize I'd have to actually do all of those 8 steps. So that's it. I'm not going to do a business anymore. Or this is what most people do, is they'll take average action. They'll go, you know what, yeah, I'll actually download a copy of that 10X rule book, and I might buy myself a copy of The End of Jobs, and maybe I'll even read it one day, or read at least the first chapter, you know. It's kind of that average level of action. But what Grant Cardone says is, if you really want to get the results first, if you want to absolutely 10X it, you need to take massive action. And I honestly believe that that's how we hit the 6 figures in the first year. Would you agree, Amy?
Yeah, we just booked it in and went for it.
Yeah, we went, you know what, let's just go all in. We took the 10 grand, we got a coach. It was only, how long was that program? Like 3 months or 4 months working with him, or was it 6 months? We had to fly to Byron Bay.
Yeah, it was twice. It sort of was longer. Yeah, we went twice. Two trips. Yeah.
So it was like a $10,000 program. Which is stock standard these days. It went for like 3 or 6 months. We had 2 trips that we had to pay on top of that to fly to Byron Bay to work with this coach. But I honestly believe, because we made that commitment and put some skin in the game, we didn't quit our jobs. Our bosses sacked us when they found out we were building this business.
I did.
We just went all in. And so we went, you know, we need to make this work. If you are read massive action, and if you think that 2018 would be the year for you, then we would love you to join us in our Lifestyle Business Builder Mastermind program. This is an amazing program that's been designed to actually get you where you want to go, and not just map out the steps, but take you through it and hold your hand every step of the way. So let me just talk you through how it works. It is the step-by-step business builder program, which is all videos. It's 8 comprehensive modules. Every module has a workbook, it has a downloadable checklist, and as a collective, we go through each module 1 month at a time, and we make sure that everyone crosses the line together. So in March, we all do the vision. We get all of that stuff done. In what comes after March? April. Yep. We work through your beliefs, and we get all that stuff done. In there, you also have the entire 7 Effect toolkit. So you can download all of the tools that we've used, all of the proposals that we used, all of the pricing structures, everything that we've used in our business, and you can copy and paste that and rebrand it and actually follow that exact model of what we've done. We've got our entire 6-figure business building system. So remember, I showed you that calculator. We actually show you how to work out what is the fastest, easiest way to build 6 figures for you in what you do. To support it all, it's not just a program that's online and you don't get actual engagement with Amy and I in real time, because I've done a lot of very expensive online programs, but I sit there and go, yeah, I get it, but I want you to know about my business and help me with my business or our business. And so we have every week a 2-hour group coaching call, and you can dial in and you can bring your business to the group, and we actually put you on the hot seat and we solve your problems. On top of that, every month we have a 7-day video challenge. Now, this has been amazing because so many of the people this year that started were terrified, weren't they, Amy?
Yeah.
Well, we even were when we started, terrified of being on video. And the reality is, if you want to promote your business online, you need to get comfortable with being on video, and you need to develop skills. So we have these really cool video challenges every month where you actually get taught how to refine your message and put it out there in video in just 2 minutes. So that's a lot of fun, and it really gets the energy going. We've got the 24/7 business support from not just Amy and I, but the entire community of business builders. And some amazing collaborations and partnerships are built in that space. You know, Nadia inviting the Stitches and Spoons girls and Mind's Eye Training out to do work with her organisation, and lots of cool things are coming out of that as well. And in 2018, we're putting together some extra bonus modules. We're going to have some guest speakers come in each month and talk about their experiences around each of the 8 steps. And there'll even be some masterclasses, both online and some face-to-face boot camps as well. So that's the Business Builder program. These are 2 really great examples of people that did the program at that level. Rochelle, who just launched Motivate Kids, she joined the program at the online mastermind level, and within 3 months she quit her job and opened her occupational therapy centre. Yeah. Amazing. She just followed the system, went through the steps, and boom, she's just incredible. The other one is Vasso. Amazing work. She's in a very short space of time launched Sweet and Sour Life Coaching. She now has corporate clients. She even has a client in Greece that she's working with. So she's gone global with her business. And Vasso and I, she's an NLP master, and she actually teaches NLP training as well. We're doing some collaborations with the 7 Effect and actually creating a 2-day NLP masterclass. The next level that you can work with us at is in the Lifestyle Business Builder Mastermind with the private. So you get everything that I've talked about. And again, there's a link where you can click through and get all of this. There's a link that you can click through and get all of this in detail. Sorry, I'm moving through it. You get everything in the mastermind group that I've talked about. Plus, you'll get the early starter design session, which is a one-on-one with me, and but you get early bird access because we're giving you the super early bird deal here. This is not just the early bird, but the super early bird. So if you're ready to get started straight away, we're going to catch up and get something done before Christmas time so you can get on the right path. Then you'll also have throughout the year for every module 2 solid hours working with me for the 6 modules that I sort of facilitate, and then 2 2-hour systems and automation sessions with Amy. And the value of this is immense because Amy, I know she's been very quiet, but she really is the nuts and bolts behind so much of what we do here. Amy actually sets up the systems and automation for you. So it's not just that she shows you how to do it. She actually gets hands-on, and we get hands-on in your business and we do it for you. And this has been so valuable to say.
Yeah, I think that's the main part. I think, you know, exactly as Jody said, I mean, there's lots of different courses and things that are out there, but you don't almost know who's teaching you. It's all online, or who you're working with. So at the mastermind level, there's the weekly group coaching, but then at the private group level, we're in the business with you and doing what needs to be done in those sessions. So that's great if you want to actually set aside the time while we're there.
And look how much fun you have. Honestly, look at Amanda. She's cracking herself.
I'm so happy.
So that is Amanda and Alicia from Stitches and Spoons, and we were doing a strategy session there. And it is so much fun. You know, this is my real passion, is business. And we have a blast building your business. It's a lot of fun. I will say this, though, there are only 10 places to work with us at that level in 2018, because obviously that's a lot more investment of Amy and my time, and we work with you privately and all of that sort of stuff. Then, of course, there's the ultimate business builder level, and this is this is perfect for people that actually say, you know what, I don't know what I want to do, but I know I want to be a coach, and I know I want to be a life coach and help people achieve their goals. So this is perfect for you if you just kind of want to buy a business in a box, licensed to be a 7 Effect accredited coach and consultant. So it's everything that we've previously mentioned. It is the private level as well. Plus, you and just 9 other people come on a journey with me for the entire year, where we're going to do 2 back-to-back, one at the start of the year and one at the end of the year, back-to-back 2-day masterclasses, where we're going to do honing your skills, facilitation and coaching skills, building yourself as a master. We're also going to meet for our monthly Business Builder Goals Club. And in those Goals Club sessions, we're going to be looking at accountability and honing your skills so that you can build the right business. It's a very hands-on, and it's working as a team to build these businesses. You get the Life Design Accreditation Program included in it, so you will be fully accredited 7 Effect Life Design Coach and Goals Club Facilitator. It is the full business in a box opportunity. It positions you to be licensed as a 7 Effect business owner, be part of our team, and become positioned in our community as a coach. You'll see in the Life Design School, Dorothea and Kelly, who have completed this, are actually running that for us now. So we put you in front of our community as our coach. This is perfect if you think, you know what, I just want to be part of the team. I kind of want to have a job working with you girls, but build my own business as a coach and consultant as well. So we teach you how to do that. And again, there is only 10 places for that in 2018. You're probably by now saying, for God's sake, Jody, shut up and tell me how much it costs. Oh, there is one more slide I wanted to show quickly before that is Goals Club. Once you set up in your business, Amy and I are there for life to support you. So this is Dorothea with some of her Goals Club crew. And I actually went along to be a guest speaker and talk about, what was it, the love element and the brain. I did 2 sessions for her as a guest speaker, and Amy went along and did the time element. So we're there as part of your team to help you work with your clients as well. And we have so much fun, so much fun. All right, shut up, and tell us how much the investment is. Remember, I promised that I'd tell you the early bird deal. Now, this is an absolutely crazy offer. It's like a big crazy hands. Oh my God, Jody and Amy have gone crazy. But at the mastermind level, to be honest, it really is. When I look at what we paid for our coaching program at $10,000 and I look at what we offer for $6,000, it is amazing. The early bird is phenomenal at $4,000. The super early bird is goddamn stupid. It's half price if you get in at the super early bird rate, which is only for a very limited time. Again, as I said, our launch with the early bird goes out next month. At the mastermind plus private level, normal investment $13,000, early bird rate is $8,000. But again, at the super early bird, this is less than half price, and this is phenomenal. This is like, you get so much for that, $6,000. And then at the ultimate business builder, I don't know where you can possibly buy a business for this price and have everything included, as well as 12 months hands-on support for an entire year for $16,000. Like if you, to buy a franchise, you'd be looking at what?
Oh, it's $250,000.
$250,000. So even at the $25,000, it's amazing. But at the super early bird of 16, it's super, super, super awesome. So those are the prices if you really would like to join with us. And I'll just say, if you do pay up, by the way, that's all on a payment plan. So you can actually start for as little as $500. It's $500 deposit and then $500 a month payment. So they're all on a payment plan. If you wanted to pay up front, you save even more. So with the mastermind, if you pay up front, and I look at this and go, oh my God, what are we doing, Amy? It's $2,600. But obviously that's a very limited spaces to jump in at that price. Mastermind plus private, you save another $400 if you pay up front. And we know a lot of people don't have that kind of money sitting around to pay up front, but if you do, you can. And with the Ultimate Business Builder, if you pay up front, you save yourself $1,000. So those are the prices. That's the investment. What did we see? How do people book in if they want to take advantage of that, Amy?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do in a moment, I'll let Jody keep chatting, but I will share the link to get to our registration page just here in the chat section, so you can have a look at that. Yeah. But after the webinar, you'll be sent an email that will have the link to it, all of the inclusions, because Jody will share some more with you in a second. And all the information will be there, as well as there'll be a link to replay this webinar. So you can go back through for any little bits that you might have missed or just want to revisit.
So what we're doing, folks, is we are actually in the process of recruiting who we're going to be working with in 2018 and which businesses we want to invest our time and energy in and who we want to partner with next year. So the only reason we're doing this super early bird is just to invite the initial ground floor people in to get in, so that when we go out with our early bird, and this is a good strategy, remember, undervalue for strategy, when we go out with our early bird, we can genuinely and authentically say there's only this many places left. So there's only a limited number of places at these rates. I do want to remind you that it's 100% satisfaction guarantee. So you get in, you look around, we don't want anyone to suffer from buyer's remorse. You know how they often get you in a room and sign you up and then there's no get out clause. We want you to know that if you do commit tonight and then you wake up tomorrow and go, oh, I've got buyer's remorse, then there's an absolute get out of jail free. Not that it is jail. We only want to work with people that have the courage to move forward, who are ready to make 2018 their year. So we don't want anyone in the program that's not certain that they want to do it. And, you know, the feedback we've had and the results and the value that people have been getting in it is rave-worthy. Like, literally, people are raving about it. All right, there's one more thing or two more things that I wanted to really quickly share with you, and maybe you can share the link now, Amy, if you wanted to, or does that stuff up this?
Might stuff up your thing.
Okay.
So
we do have some steak knives. You got to have the steak knives. I'll go through it really quickly for you because I know it's getting late. But in the fast action bonus, the first one is, and this is only for the first, first 5 people that enroll. It's a $17,500 value at any level. So if you're thinking of even at that mastermind level, this is ideal. You will actually get for free some private one-on-one time where Amy will go through and build that systems and structure stuff with you. So you actually get that one-on-one time. The second fast action bonus is working with me, where I will work with you one-on-one to work on your vision, strategy, and beliefs. And so we actually look and design your product mix. I'll actually do some NLP and belief busting work with you if that's required. If you join us at the private level or at the ultimate level, these are all on top of the sessions that you already get. So this is amazing. This is just making sure that you have everything you absolutely need, but it literally is only for the first 5 people that enroll. So just to remind you, these are the prices to actually join with us. We would love to help you build your business in 2018. And if you think about it, the investment made here could save you tens of thousands of dollars. And in fact, every single person that I've done a strategy session with that had a business said, oh my God, I wish I did this 2 years ago. You've just saved me 2 years of fluffing around and time wasted, and now we're right on the path. So it's such a wise investment. Super early bird, $3,000 on a payment plan or $2,600 up front. Private is only $6,000. That's less than half price at the super early bird. Or upfront, even less than half price, $5,600. And the ultimate business builder is only $15,000 upfront or $16,000 on a payment plan. And remember, with the mastermind and the ultimate business builder, there's literally only 10 places for 2018. Is that next year?
Yeah, already.
And you get the bonuses for the first 5 enrollments. So I hope that this has been of value. I really have tried to share as much as I could possibly. Remember, if you're uncertain, now's the time to ask any questions. Amy and I are happy to stick around. If you wanted to book a strategy session, you could do that. You probably would forego do you want to set up the link in case if there's anyone wanting to take advantage of the fast start?
Yep. And I was just going to say, so Tamsin just asked, is your measurable results tool, sorry, I didn't know what you call it, available on this dashboard? It's available in our program. And actually, Tamsin, I believe that that's what we actually worked through when we had our coaching session as well.
Yeah.
So that's the one that we used when we caught up. So and it comes with the program.
It comes with the program. Copyright, obviously, to the 7 Effect. But yes, we do use that within the program.
Yeah. So hopefully I'm not going to mess anything up, but Jodie will just, if you've got any questions, please post
your
them.
questions
and she's here. I'm just going to jump across
and thank you so much for joining us. So it's really great. I loved reading all of your responses too, and I will do some emails to connect with everyone about your businesses. I had a look at lots of different websites from people that have already had businesses as well. So that's been fantastic.
All right, so hopefully that's come through in the little chat section on your screen. That's the link to the webinar page with the super early bird specials and details, so you can jump on there. We did say before, you'll get an email now, as we wrap up, it'll have a replay link so you can go back through the presentation and, you can skip through any bits that you did get through and were succinct.
Yeah.
Any bits you've missed or anything you want to go over again, you can see those as well. So that will come to you by email.
Yeah, and if you want to join us in 2018, I'm really excited to work with you and share your business success with our community, like I have with some of this year's success stories as well. If there's any questions.
Yeah, if there's any questions, please post them in. If you need to run off, I know there's a couple of people putting children to bed and all those sorts of things, so we understand that as well.
Here we go. Oh, yes, the tool we use. Oh, yep, we absolutely talk you through that as well, Tams. And so that's all in part of the program. We use what's called an up tracker, which is a tool that we designed to help organisations measure their performance, where they're at, and then we roll that out once a quarter. And again, in our program, we actually share. There's been so many learnings with using that, hasn't there, Amy?
Yeah.
Of the first year when we did it, how we mega stuffed it up, and we've made lots of mistakes around that, but we finally refined it. So yeah, we absolutely talked through that, Tamsin, of how to do that, how to design your own, and what are the key things in rolling out a measurement tool like that. Any other questions? Thanks, Tamsin. I'm glad you enjoyed the webinar, by the way, too. Thank you so much for this great webinar, Sarah. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Thank you so much, Melissa, for being here. Thanks, Vivian. Oh, freedom, Vivian. I love the sound of that. So thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll just wait. Is there other people still online, Amy, if there's any other questions?
Still hanging around, but I probably no more questions. We've left it open for a little bit now, but we're around. You can find us at the 7 Effect on our Facebook page. You can always send us a message through there. You'll be able to shoot through an email because you would have received email prompts to come along. So, and John, What have you got there?
Looking to make lifestyle change. Oh, John, that's great. Look, John, I was really interested about what you do as well. So would love to chat to you about your business idea in investing. Donna, I'm so glad that helped, because I read your survey responses and you were in that space of not really sure. So I'm glad that we've been able to offer something. Oh, Kirsty, still online, but appreciate the webinar. Fantastic. Awesome presentation. I would be interested in the masterclass one-on-one. Oh, fantastic. Kirsty, I'd like to talk to you. Okay, great, Shirley. I had a look at your website, actually, Shirley. I would love to talk to you about what you're doing there and get a better sense of that. So, yes, let's set up a time to do that. Looking forward to the webinar slides. Well, that's great. Look, thank you so much, everyone. I've only just looked at all the comments because I've been talking to the screen and I'm like, is anyone listening? Is
anyone still there?
So I'm so grateful that we've had so many people on board the webinar tonight, listening, watching. Amy and I are here, as she said. It's been great. Oh, Katrina, feeling more than slightly scared about 2008. So I'm great. I'm glad you're looking at your fear in that way, Katrina, because into that fear, and the fact that you're scared about it tells me that you're actually thinking of seriously taking action and building this business. I know it's been part of your goals for a while. Woohoo! Should I shut up now? Amy's looking at me like, no. Oh God, how long is she going to waffle on?
No, I'm looking at the comments as well, making sure I haven't missed anything. But I think we're probably good. You've got the details to email us, or of course find, or anything like that. You'll be sent some emails afterwards. Pleasure, John. And I hope I've enjoyed listening to Jodie, so I hope all of you have as well. And we'll hopefully chat to you soon.
And the most important thing that I really want to highlight is it can be fun. I know it's scary, but when you've got someone to hold your hand, and this is what I love the most about our mastermind group, is hold your hand while you jump off all those little cliffs that you have to build a business and stretch your comfort zone. Oh my God, we have a lot of laughs and a lot of fun.
It's one of our values.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. It can be challenging, but in a fun and exciting way. So I would love to work with you in 2018. Super early bird people get in at less than half price at all the levels. And also we can get started now. You don't actually have to wait till the program begins. We can start right away for those of you that are like me that like to take action. So that's it. Signing off.
Beautiful.
Mwah,
See you guys. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you. Good night, everyone. I wonder if it worked. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Save. Thank you for the comments.